beautiful friends, and welcome back to my channel. This is Nova Gnome Creations, and I'm Nova, and I'm so happy to see you today. I hope you and your loved ones are doing well, and that you guys are taking care of the best that you can, and that you're having a great week so far. It is Wednesday, so I thought I would hop on here for a little WIP Wednesday update video and ask you guys what you guys have been up to. So what are you whipping up today? And if you're new here, welcome to my channel. I'm so happy that you decided to join us. I hope that you find this to be the comfiest, cozy little corner of YouTube. And if you are not new here, welcome back, my Nomi. I hope that you are taking some time for you today. That is so important. I hope that you take a few minutes for yourself today, just to exist, just to breathe. Not to do anything for anyone else, not to do things you have to do or things that you feel like you need to do, just existing for you for 5 minutes, just to bring yourself some joy, just to bring yourself some peace. And I hope that you remember to take that time today and every day. And if you can cut out more than 5 minutes, that's awesome. But make sure you at least cut out 5 minutes for yourself. So, I have like a bajillion projects I'm currently working on, so I figured I would update you guys on a few. One, the Halloween Witch Gnome Crochet Along I'm working on is going really well. But I won't be showing that to you guys yet because I'm not going to reveal it until next week when I post the Crochet Along, and then next Saturday is Gnome of the Month. So not this coming Saturday, but the next Saturday after the Crochet Along all comes out, it'll be Gnome of the Month. So that's also just a little reminder for you guys if you want to send in any gnomes for Gnome of the Month. My email is always in the description box below the video, but it is novagnomecreations@gmail.com, and you can send me an email at any time and put Gnome of the Month in the subject line of your email so that I know that it's for Gnome of the Month, and put your name somewhere in the body of the email. That way I know what to credit you with, credit you as when I put your picture into our Nomi montage. Don't mind me. For one, I did just wake up. It is literally like 5 a.m. And two, I feel a little disoriented filming in here. Just because my setup is different. I'm used to looking more over here, and I'm looking over here. I'm not sure if this is where I'm going to record from yet. I got to figure things out with my setup. As to where I want to record from as far as like a view. And I just haven't been filming. Well, I guess I only didn't film yesterday, but anyway, so I feel a little disoriented, and that's distracting me. As far as the progress on the room goes, I've gotten a little bit more done every day, but I am working on the Crochet Along, and that was like my biggest thing, was focusing on getting the desk area ready, because at the time on Monday when I was posting, I know it looked like everything's done, but that's because I really focused on getting this area done, and hubby focused on getting this area done. So like this area behind me was ready, but like this area was like all me, and I had to move everything over and find new spots and organize things. And so yeah, I put a lot of time into that, and I think basically everything is over here now, and it's set up differently, and you guys will see more into that when I do the tour and I show you guys how I ended up doing things. But I'm really happy with it. But it is set up different than I'm used to for filming, so like I said, I got to get used to that. But yeah, so that's going really well too. Really happy with the feeling of getting up in the mornings and coming into here and having it be a separate workspace. I don't know, it's given me a nice, gives me some nice changes of scenery, and it just feels really good. And then I also still have, well, it's kind of hard to explain without you guys having seen everything yet, but where this desk used to be, we moved our chair from the living room, and so it's going to be kind of a little reading nook. I haven't cleared off the shelf next to it and like turned it into a reading nook yet, but right now it's just kind of the chair is there. But I sat there and worked on editing yesterday, so I've got like a few different places I can sit now and work on things and kind of change things up, whereas before I basically always sat at my computer desk all day, every day, other than like, you know, obviously when I was like cleaning or cooking or sleeping or whatever. But I don't really go places very often. So like I would literally just be at that one place all the time. So now I've got like several different places. I haven't really been using my computer. I have a Chromebook over here, like a really old Chromebook I got for Christmas like years ago, that I'm using in here. But I haven't really been at my computer because I need to get another chair to put out there. So I don't have a chair at my desk out there currently. But that I will get one. But for now it's not, you know, like it's not a big deal. But yeah, I'm really, really like, it's feeling really awesome. And then as far as like physical projects go, I thought I would update you guys on the, I think it's called Spellweaver hat, and I will link the pattern for this in the description box. But this is the hat that I'm doing in the autumnal colors. And I did kind of deviate from the pattern a little bit, just because I misread something and my stitch count got way off because of it. And so I just kind of did my own thing for a few rounds and fudged my way back to the pattern. But here is how it is looking. I really, really love this. So that's how it's looking. I want to like give you guys a close-up. So this yarn right here, I love. I think this will make such a nice moss color. It's like a little bit of a fuzzier yarn, and I'm excited to do something with this and have it be moss. So I only did one round with it. That was sort of what I was going for when I was working on this, was for the most part keeping the color changing like every round, with very few repeats, but staying in kind of a the similar color palette. The biggest I've strayed outside of this color palette was probably the sparkly purple, but then I did some surface stitching over it in this like rust color, and I think it like brought it back into the autumnal vibe. This part right here is really interesting. It's got like X's that go down over it. Unfortunately, I was dumb and I picked really similar colors. The stitches behind these X's they're technically a different color, but they're so similar that I feel like you do lose the definition of what's going on right here. But it's pretty cool looking. I did like a brown with that funky fringe yarn, and then I went over it with like a golden mustardy sort of color, and they're just such a similar color. I wish I would have done that a little bit more contrasting, but I didn't realize it until I was like, this is actually like from here to here with all this going on is like 10 rows or 10 rounds. This is actually like a lot of like switching back and forth between colors to get these like X motifs going. And once I realized what I was doing, I was not about to go back and redo like a bajillion rows. So that's just the way it be. I think it looks really cool though, and I am loving it so far. Obviously it's not done, but here it is as a tiny hat. Oh my god, that's hilarious. And it's gonna have some really cool shape to it. It's a witchy hat, but this part won't be on your head because this part is actually more part of the like part that hangs, to give you kind of an idea. So yeah, that's how that's going. I'm really, really loving that. And then I started another project because I didn't have enough projects going on, and project plans and everything else. But I started a bag with some granny squares that I made a long time ago with like no concept of order. No intention was better. No intentions of like what I was doing with them. And so now that I've been like moving everything around, I've been noticing like things that I have that I never did anything with. And so I decided I was going to make them into a bag. And this is not like a pattern or anything. I just literally have been sitting here kind of having fun with it. In the morning, I was working on it yesterday morning. And then I actually ended up working on it a little bit in the afternoon too. But basically what I did was I seamed together with single crochets, and I did like granny squares that I folded to make into these types of shapes, and then I crocheted them and sewed them to stay like in those shapes. And then I also like folded in half granny squares and crocheted around them to make them into like rectangles, and I made that into the bottom. And I did that so that it will be like double thick, because this is very like stretchy and light kind of yarn. I don't know if you can tell, but it's got like a lot of stretch to it, and I thought it would help to have it doubled over. And then let me turn this inside out for you so you can see what it looks like on the inside. So here's what it looks like on the inside. Which is probably the side that like some people would think is prettier, but I really like the way that seams look on the outside of crocheted bags. But here's what it looks like on the inside, with all the seams are not showing. And you can see how I did like the granny squares. How I said I folded them and then I like crocheted and sewed them to be triangles. So I like sewed this layer up, I like folded them to a point and then folded a layer of the bottom over. But yeah, and then you can kind of see this is like the other side of the grannies that I folded over to make the bottom. And then let me turn this back right side out. I'm currently working on going around the top edge, so that's where I'm tied on still. And I think I'm probably going to do several rounds with that. And then I also made some some mushroom granny squares that I had this one and the one in the middle made already. I made this one so that I could make a panel that'll go down over the front to be a little flap, you know, for like when you have your purse closed. And I'll put a button in the middle, probably, maybe. And I haven't gone around this yet. I'm going to go around it with this same variegated yarn. I know I'm not a fan of how this ended up playing out, going around the triangle shape in the corner, but it's a variegated yarn and it just happened to be that variegation when I got to that part. Whereas the rest of it is basically gray and purple. That part is like such a dark gray, it almost looks black and white. But yeah, so this will hang over the front, and then I think it's going to be pretty cute. And that's kind of all I've got planned for it so far. I'm not planning on lining it with fabric. I did think about it, but I'm just like, I'm not a sewer. I really prefer to crochet. I would like rather crochet another set of granny squares or like a big panel and crochet that inside of it, honestly, than sew. Because I'm not a sewer. I would have to sew it all by hand, which takes so long. And then I'm not confident with my sewing abilities that like it would actually hold up. So, yeah. So that's what I've been working on. I thought I would just pop in here and say hello. I felt weird not making a video yesterday, but also it's been nice to kind of hyper focus on what I'm doing. So basically my current way of doing things that has been really nice too, just this week, not like a big ongoing thing, but it's Thursday. Now I know why it felt so weird that I hadn't been on. It was 2 days. I forgot that yesterday was Wednesday. I woke up this morning and thought it was Wednesday. I thought yesterday felt like it should be Friday. Guys, I am freaking 14 minutes into this video and you didn't interrupt me to tell me it wasn't Wednesday. Oh my gosh. Okay, guys, so it's WIP Thursday. Let me know what you're working on for WIP Thursday. I totally forgot what I was talking about. Oh, right. So yeah, my way of doing things this week has been I get up in the mornings, and for the morning time, I just let myself crochet. I just get to crochet, and it's been so nice. I'm not working on doing anything else. I'm not working on editing or filming tutorials or, doing like social media stuff or anything like that. I just crochet. I have my coffee, which I have my coffee right here, but I did decide to film this morning, which I don't mind like filming like vloggy videos, don't get me wrong. But it's been nice because I'm doing just crocheting in the morning, and then in the afternoons, and into the evenings, I do like filming tutorials or editing tutorials, or I haven't really been doing social media management. I really need to do that. I've been not doing that very much this week, but basically kind of putting the more like worky aspects into the afternoon. And I'm really liking the way that feels, because in the morning when it's like 4 something in the morning when I get up, it's hard to get going into like what I need to work on. And sometimes I'll just sit here and be like overwhelmed with like all the different projects I have and like all the different things going on. And I'm like, I should work on this, but I don't want to work on this, or I should do this or that. And instead of being like, I should do this or I have to do this, I guess I'm practicing what I always tell you guys, which is, doing what I want to do just for the enjoyment of it, and not because I feel like I have to. Because I love to make tutorials and everything, but like when you wake up at like 4 something in the morning, that is not what you feel like doing. You know what I mean? Like, it's nice to just take some deep breaths and just crochet. Like picking these up and then just randomly slapping them all together and making it into a bag was so like freeing feeling. It wasn't a pattern. It wasn't like it didn't have to come out a specific way. I just looked at what I had and kind of came up with what I was going to do with what I had. I used all the granny squares that I had for this, that I had made out of this yarn. I had been making these granny squares when I was playing a RPG campaign. It was the Star Wars. It's basically like Star Wars D&D. That's how I always explain it. Well, when I had been playing that for a while, I had been making granny squares to keep my hands busy while we were doing stuff, but I didn't have any like plans of what I was going to do with them or anything. And then they just got tucked away, and I never worked on them again and never came up with anything to do with them. So I was happy now that I used all of them for this. So like those all have a home now, and I'm coming up with like a little bag for them. But it was just super nice to just crochet, you know? But yeah, so I guess I'm finding some balance. I think finding some balance is so important. And it feels really good to be finding that balance. But anyways, guys, I hope you are having a fantastic Thursday. I hope you guys have had a great week. It is almost Friday, which I am so happy for. I am ready for it to be Friday. I am ready for the weekend. Tomorrow is Community Spotlight, so if you would like to be part of Community Spotlight, in case you don't know what it is, Community Spotlight is where every Friday I come on here and I do like a community feature piece, which is all about you guys. If you're watching this video, you are part of my community, and basically it's just about what you guys have been working on. So it doesn't even have to be crochet. It can be anything that you have been crafting up. You can email it to me, which, like I said, email is in the description box. If you want to send me anything that you've made, just put Community Spotlight in the subject line, and in the body of the email you can say anything you want, but just let me know what name to credit you with. You can send in as many makes as you want, and it can be anything that you've been working on. So yeah, so if you would like to be part of that, feel free to send in stuff. And tomorrow we will have our little Community Spotlight parade compilation thing and celebrate you guys and your makes. I hope everybody has a fantastic Thursday, and I will see you guys again tomorrow. Bye, guys!